Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome to evening devotion. Excuse me. Boy, the fight right now for congressional seats in America is wild. I've gotten so many um, text messages from candidates campaigning, and it's just their organizations doing that. But they do this thing called geofencing, and so they'll send a mass text out to an entire area at once, and they just drive through and do it. You can purchase it. Um, I block every number I get and report it as spam because there's no need for that. We all know who we were going to vote for, but they're desperate. They're desperate to try to get what they want and get the seats that they want. And I don't believe any of them. I'm telling you this right now, especially if they're Democrat or liberal. I don't believe them. And a lot of the Republican ones, I don't believe either. Our government is in such a strange place. But then again, it's the end times. Here we go. Pray for our governments, guys. When you in your prayers, when you think about it, pray for our governments. They need it because they are really in a lot of turmoil as we speak, and our future depends on where they go. Hopefully, the Lord will come back before anything terrible happens. Isaiah 43:24 is our verse for tonight. Thou hast bought me no sweet cane with money. The whole verse says, you have bought me no sweet cane with money, nor have you satisfied me with the fat of your sacrifices, but you have burdened me with your sins. You have wearied me with your iniquities. What does the sweet cane with money? What does that mean? What is that referring to? Well, sweet cane is pleasant. It's enjoyable. The money would mean purposeful, making the choice to do it. So they haven't chosen the good things, but instead have chosen the bad things. Let's get some context here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Start here in verse 18. Do not remember the former things, nor consider the things of old. Behold, I will do a new thing. Now it shall spring forth. Shall you not know it? I will even make a road in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. The beasts of the field will honor me, the jackals and the ostriches. Interesting animals he picks. Because I give waters in the wilderness and rivers in the desert to give drink to my people, my chosen. This people I have formed for myself. They shall declare my praise. But you have not called upon me, O Jacob, and you have been weary of me, O Israel. You have not brought me the sheep of your burnt offerings, nor have you honored me with your sacrifices. I have not caused you to serve with grain offerings, nor wearied you with incense. You have bought me no sweet cane with money, nor have you satisfied me with the fat of your sacrifices. But you have burdened me with your sins. You have wearied me with your iniquities. I, even I, am he who blots out your transgressions for my own sake. And I will not remember your sins. The Lord does that for his sake, for his glory, for his benefit. And we just happen to be the recipients of some of that. But he does it for his sake. Put me in remembrance. Let us contend together. State your case that you may be acquitted. Now, the Lord's not going to hold your feet to the fire. You go to him and say, Lord, here's what's going on, and here's my struggle. Okay, I get that. His desire is to put our sins away. His desire is to acquit us. We can go to him with any of that stuff. Your first father sinned, and your mediators have transgressed against me. Therefore, I will profane the princes of the sanctuary. I will give Jacob to the curse, and Israel to reproaches. What curse would that be? Could be the tribulation. It is referred to as Jacob's trouble. Worshippers of the temple were wont to bring presents of sweet perfumes to be burned upon the altar of God. But Israel, in the time of her backsliding, and after a sense she still is that way, became ungenerous and made but few votive offerings to her Lord. This was an evidence of coldness of heart towards God and his house. Reader, does this never occur with you? Might not the complaint of the text, be occasionally, if not frequently, brought against you? And I'll tell you this, sometimes it's that way with us. Those who are poor in pocket, if rich in faith, will be accepted nonetheless because their gifts are small. But, poor reader, do you give in fair proportion to the Lord? Or is the widow's mite kept back from the sacred treasury? The rich believer should be thankful for the talent entrusted to him, but should not forget his large responsibility. For where much is given, much will be required. But, rich reader, are you mindful of your obligations and rendering to the Lord according to the benefit received? Is he talking about physical things, or is he talking about spiritual things? In a way, he's talking about both, but primarily he's focused on the spiritual things. Jesus gave his blood for us. What shall we give to him? We are his, and all that we have, for he has purchased us unto himself. Can we act as if we were our own? Oh, for more consecration. And to this end, oh, for more love. Blessed Jesus, how good is it of thee to accept our sweet cane bought with money? Nothing is too costly as a tribute to thine unrivaled love, and yet thou dost receive with favor the smallest sincere token of affection. Thou dost receive our poor forget-me-nots and love tokens, as though they were intrinsically precious, though indeed they are but as the bunch of wildflowers which the child brings to its mother. I believe I talked about this about a week ago, maybe. Something similar along these lines. Never may we grow, and here's that word a lot of people struggle with. It's niggardly, it means selfishness, towards thee. It's an old English word. And from this hour, never may we hear thee complain of us again for withholding the gifts of our love. We will give thee the first fruits of our increase, and pay thee tithes of all, and then we will confess, of thine own have we given thee. Is he saying to tithe specifically, like what we do, like with the 10%? No. In this case, the tithing he's referring to is general giving. And you can use that word tithing as I'm giving it to the Lord. It's something for a specific purpose. There is no requirement for 10%. You give as much as you want to give, when you want to give it. The Lord will receive it. But not just physical things. You know, you can do it with your items that you have. You can give of your talents, give of your time. You can give of whatever the Lord has given you. Now, I will admit there are a lot of times where it's hard to do that. It's really hard. I've struggled with that over the years. To go and just help somebody with something that I know how to do. My last church, not the pastor, but the assistant pastor, he had a cattle trailer, and he had longhorns, and so he'd haul them every now and then. And he started having struggles with the lights. And the way they design these trailer light kits, they're grounded through the bolts on the back of the light. And so on the trailer, you'll have a metal flange, and there's two holes in there, and you run that light up against there, and the bolts will go through the holes, and then you run a nut and washer on the back to hold it down. Well, over time, they'll rust, and that ground will no longer be sufficient. And so I came up with a way to run an external ground, and I do it on every time I change lights on a trailer. I run this external ground, and it's literally just a piece of wire with a ring connector on the end to go over the bolt under the nut, and then I run it over and use a self tapper and run it into the flange or somewhere out of the way where it won't be in the way and nobody will hit it, and run it down up against that after cleaning some of the paint off, and it makes a secondary ground. And it works perfect. I mean, I did that on his, because his lights were hardly working at all, and immediately fixed them. I had him fire it up and turn the lights on, and as I'm installing the ground, the lights are starting to work and get brighter. And he was watching, and he was amazed. He said, "How did you learn to do that?" I said, "I just figured it out one day. I figured out where they were grounded at, and figured out that that's what the problem was. And so it needed a better ground, needed more contact because it didn't have enough. And so I just came up with this, and it works every single time." And he just could not let me help him. That's all I did, and I fixed a couple of loose connections and fixed his license plate light. I made it work right like it's supposed to, hooked it up properly, anchored it down. I told him I'm glad to help. I have the ability to do this. I'm glad to help. Nope, had to pay me. And it was like they were like, I will be offended if you don't take this. So finally, to keep the peace, I took whatever they gave me. Well, how much do you want? I said, whatever you want to give me is fine with me, because I don't need the money. I helped my pastor rewire his flat trailer completely, and he had these ways he wanted to do it, and I said, no, we're going to do it this way because this way will make it last. Oh, we are we? I said, yes. And I made sure to test everything because I didn't want it to come back. And then I installed secondary grounds. He's like, what is that for? I said, that's a secondary ground because these never stay grounded for a long period of time. And you'll lose ground, which means they won't work right. And so I install secondary grounds on every trailer I do lights on. And that way they keep working and they don't mess up on you. When we were done and he saw how clean everything was and how everything worked right and everything was bright, he was very happy. I got to pay you for this. No, I'm glad to help you. Just consider it me donating my time. Nope. Adamant that he had to pay me. And this goes for almost everybody. And I find it really hard when I go to help people. Here, let me give you some money. No. They always feel like they owe me. You don't owe me anything. If I thought you needed to owe me something, I wouldn't have come over here and done it at all. Or I would have told you up front I wanted something. I don't want nothing. I'm glad to help. And this has been like this for years with everybody I know except, even my best friend Steve before he died. He got that way. You don't owe me nothing. I'm glad to help. My mom's even done that to me a few times. I told her, I said, don't worry about it. It's no big deal. I got it. I'm fine. And to me, it's weird because I've always been this way. So to me, it's weird. And there's times people have helped me with stuff and then they stand there and look at me like they want something. Like I don't need anything. And it's like they're waiting for me to offer. You said you didn't need anything. Thank you for the help. I'll help you in the future if something comes up and I need help that you need help with. I'll help you with that as us kind of helping each other out, because that's how we've always done it in my family. Help somebody with something. Later on, if you need help, that person helps if they can, and it all comes around. It's not that we're keeping track because there's no need to, but it's really weird that people are like this. They have this really weird idea about this stuff. Well, the Lord doesn't do that to us. The Lord doesn't keep an account of all the things we owe. If he did, what would have been the purpose of dying on the cross to pay the debt we owe for sin? And then to, throw it behind him so it's never remembered again, to sink it in the deepest ocean so it's never remembered. He doesn't keep an account on that. Because if he did, we would never be able to pay that back. What does he ask of us? What does he require of us? Be generous, be loving, be caring. Help where you can, whether it's with physical needs, whether it's something spiritual. Help where you can. And honor the Lord in everything possible. It's so easy. It's so simple. People have become hyper-focused on I got to go do these things, these physical things and that physical things. And I have to be specific about how I do it and the level that I do it. And it gives them some kind of validation on that. That's not what the Lord requires. His requirement for salvation is belief. His requirement for your walk is to do what he said in his word. Never once did he put a level on it. Never once did he put an amount. Never once did he put any requirement on what or how much or when or to who. He said, I want your motivation to be pure, your motivation to be from love, and whatever it is you do, it'll be more than enough. And this is the example, like in the devotion it mentioned about the widow's 2 mites. She gave 2 mites, but her gift was better. Why was her gift better? Because of the motivation in her heart. That's why. Them guys should have told her, no, ma'am, you keep your mites. Matter of fact, here, take this. So you have enough. No, they wanted everything. See, it's not necessarily every single one of us are in some kind of requirement to give. Sometimes we need to be in the stage to receive, because sometimes we need it, and there's no need for us to give. You don't need to give. You're fine. Matter of fact, we'll help you. I know that's your desire, but in this instance, your desire to help, flip that around as your desire to receive the blessing. Allow us to help you. It can be hard to get in that mode. But I should be this and I should be that. No. You have no requirements from the Lord to be that way or to do those things. You do them when you can, how you can, in the amount that you can. And he takes those little tiny efforts and those little gifts. And the Bible even says he even weighs the intents of our heart and takes that into consideration, even if we can't do it. Forget where the verse is, but there's a verse that talks about that specifically. Even if we can't do it, he weighs the intents of the heart. We may not be able to perform the action, but we may want to. It's just like us wanting to be holy, but not having the ability. We want to be holy. We don't have the ability to be holy. He takes that into account. I want to give, but I don't have the ability to give. He takes that into account. I want to donate my time or funds or this or that or be up there doing this or being that. I mean, sometimes we have health issues that keep us from going and doing the things we want to do. I mean, if I was still going to my last church, there was a lot of stuff I wouldn't be able to do. I just can't. I don't have the kind of energy that I need for that kind of stuff. And so I wouldn't be going on work days on Saturdays. Whereas I did a bunch before because I had energy before. But that does not lessen your relationship with him. That does not stop his love or limit his love to you because you can't do those things. There's a lot of elderly people that are in a position where they can't do those things, those physical things. And yet the Lord doesn't look negatively on them. He honors them. So don't let people guilt you in this, or confuse you or delude you or persuade you. You have to do this or that. Like the charismatics do, give $1,000 seed gift. I can't give $1,000. Well, then you're just not faithful enough. No, you're a liar and you're stealing people's money and you're going to have to give an account for that. You're going to have to stand before the Lord mighty and you're going to have to tell him why you stole from people. Because what you should have done is said, don't give me your money. You keep it. You pay your bills, pay your debt. Give it to somebody on the street that needs food or help. Give it to your neighbor who may be struggling to pay bills. That's what you need to do with your money. Don't give it to me. I don't need it. But they don't do that. Matter of fact, if you do that and have a ministry that does that, they look down on you and they will not promote your ministry. My videos are all marked nonprofit and activism. I have no merch. I don't sell anything. I don't offer anything. And I don't take any money. Only for one time in my entire career doing this as a ministry. And it was because that person told me this is my ministry. This is what I do. So I took it, I broke it into pieces and gave it to multiple other people. Didn't stay in house. Didn't need to. But I don't do none of that. Consequently, my videos don't get promoted. And that's fine with me. I don't care. I'm not in this for that. I don't do this for that reason or that purpose. The Lord will get people here that need to hear this content and hear this message or be encouraged or have prayer done for them. I'm here for those purposes. And listen, I don't do them perfectly. I don't give perfectly. I don't help perfectly. I don't do any of that perfectly. Right now, I'm helping my mom out. I'm helping her because she needs it. She went and saw another doctor, and there's some issues going on. They're going to address it with yet another doctor. So they have to go. She has to go to see somebody else and find out what they want to do about that tumor. Small. But they're going to check her in 6 months to see if it's grown any before they, make any decisions on whether or not they need to go in there and do something or use medication. At her age, they're not going to drill a hole in her head to go get this thing. So she's probably going to be stuck with this. And I don't know if she realizes that the possibility of the debilitating nature that this could lead to. I'm trying to get her, encouraged that you have us to help you. Well, she has this really bad issue about, well, I don't want to put this burden off on you. Well, too late. We already have this burden on us. But here's the thing. I have all the time in the world to be able to do it. And my desire is to do it and help where I can. So I tell her it's not a burden to us. We're all in this together. You have no one else to help you. We're in this together. So Let's work together to make sure that we facilitate everything being taken care of, the horses, Jack, the dog, and you make sure you guys have everything you need and that you're comfortable and that you're able to do what you can do and that everything's taken care of. I don't want you to push yourself and get hurt. I told her, I said, what you don't want to do is you don't want to fall down out there because you had a dizzy spell or have a seizure and can't get up. And you're laying out there in Texas heat. It's not a nice way to go. So it's no big deal. I told her, I got a pickup truck that gets 30 miles a gallon. I have no problem driving out there. It's only 20, 30 minutes. Drive out, do what needs to be done, come back home. But she's struggling with that. So I had asked you guys before for prayer on that. We're still waiting to hear exactly what's going on. Because the second doctor evidently didn't know a whole lot. So they're going to go to another doctor and we'll see what they have to say. So anyway, we'll see what happens. But we can't do it perfectly. And you can't force it. I used to try to do that over the years. I used to try to force it. You can't force it. I would go out of my way to try to force doing something or giving or something like that. And I hit roadblock after roadblock after roadblock. If in the process of giving you take away from your responsibilities of your house, you're making a bit of a mistake. It's still good to give, but if you're now not able to do what you need to do at home, that can be a problem. And the Lord, we're supposed to take care of our house and our family. If we don't, we're no better than an infidel. And so it's important for us to make sure we take care of what's at home. And if you need to care for things at home and can't afford to give, prayer is always acceptable across the board for any reason. And, you can ask the Lord to make it possible for you to help in this way or that way or whatever. And he will do his will concerning you and your life and the people you may want to help. He may change it so it works in a different direction. Or there's a different scenario. And I'm going to leave you guys with this. Here's the greatest help you can do. The greatest help you can do is give them the gospel, is to share the truth, either by speaking it or by living it and letting them see it and see your person and your character because you've been with Jesus and been changed by him. That's the greatest giving you can give. And there is no limit on that. There is no 10% tithing on it. You give all of it. All the Lord asks is that we do the best we can. We're not going to be perfect. We do the best we can. But he is the one who will perfect us, not us. He is the one who will manifest what's needed and what has to happen. He is the one that will fulfill the promises. We have no power over any of that. I can give money till the cows come home. I have no guarantees as to where that money is going to go. It may just go into some bank account somewhere and it never gets to the people that it needs to get to. I actually struggle with that. If I give that money, I want to make sure it goes where it's supposed to. I used to give to the March of Dimes. I quit giving because I found out that, and this was at that time. This was 2006, something like that. 2005, 2006. I found out that in the March of Dimes, 88%, now this was at that time. I don't know if it's higher or not or lower, but that time, 88% of every dollar it was distributed amongst this just whole list of charities. And I found it on their website. All kinds of weird charities. So what was left went to the March of Dimes. That's supposed to go to kids. Why doesn't it? So we've given to St. Jude's. That goes to the families. And a couple of local charities, and I'm kind of chomping at the bit and wanting to do that again for these local charities, Christian Cupboards and stuff like that, because helping the people at home in your area is good. It's a good thing. You want a good charity to give to your local soup kitchen, Loaves and Fishes. Give to your local food pantry. That's a good place to donate because it goes directly to the people and helps them. But always remember, you give according to what the Lord puts on your heart. He may put a lot on your heart. He may put a little bit on your heart. And you do according to your ability, not according to what people say you should do. The Lord will honor it. And if you can only give your time, give your time. The Lord will honor it. You can only give of your talents and abilities, do that. The Lord will honor it. I give to my mom the ability to fix and operate equipment. I help my neighbors with that sometimes. I can't do a ton because I'm all stoved up, but I do what I can. And I know the Lord accepts it. Because he's not interested in how much we do or what we do. He's interested in why we do it. And if the why is love, that means everything. Paul made this clear. And I'll close with this. Remember what Paul said. If I give my body to be burned, I do all this. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Rather than try to quote it from memory, come on. Open up, eSword. There we go. That was slower than normal. First Corinthians 13. So if you want to get some encouragement here, go there and read it. 1 Corinthians 13, and I'm going to read it too. So this is what's expected. And Paul makes this so clear starting in verse 1 in 1 Corinthians 13. This is entitled The Way of Love. Though I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but have not love, I have become sounding brass or a clanging cymbal. Irritating. And though I have the gift of prophecy and understand all mysteries and all knowledge, you understand the whole Bible. And though I have all faith so that I could remove mountains, but have not love, I am nothing. And though I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and though I give my body to be burned, but have not love, it profits me nothing. In 3 verses, Paul completely destroys the narrative of what we've all been taught. If love is not the driving force, it's worthless and useless. It's wood, hay, and stubble. It'll be burned up in the fire. But if it's done in love, and this is why Jesus says anyone who gives one of these little ones a cup of cold water in the name of a disciple, well, why would it be cold water? Hey, they want water. I'm going to give them cold water because it's more refreshing. That's love. I care enough about them. I'm going to give them cold water. He will in no wise lose his reward. So when it's done in love, love is the deciding factor. Love is the thing. If I'm just robotically giving 10% to my local church, oh, there goes that 10. Yeah, there goes that 10. I don't even think about it, not even considering it. I don't pray over it. I pray over any money I give. There's no love driving that movement. You're throwing your money out the window. You might as well drive down the highway with the window down. Just throw it out. It's worthless. It means nothing. It does nothing. Paul makes this very clear. He says it. Do I bestow all my goods to feed the poor, and then give my body to be burned? I die for my faith, supposedly. If there's no love in that, it profits me nothing. Love is the key. Love is the glue. Love is the main ingredient. How do you make bread? What's the main ingredient of bread? Flour. If there's no flour, there's no bread. You can mix all the other ingredients together, you're not going to get anything. What's the main ingredient in peanut butter? Peanuts. If you don't have peanuts, you don't have peanut butter. So if love is not present, what we do, what we give, has no meaning, has no purpose. It does nothing for no one. So make love the reason. And if love is the reason, even if you can't give, but the love there is present, I really want to because I love this, I love these people, I want to give to this, yet I can't, the Lord takes that into consideration. Hey, don't believe me. Go to him and ask him about it. Go read 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 3. You'll see for yourself. Actually, keep reading down to, well, keep reading the whole thing because it talks about love there. What does this say here? Actually, the F.B. Meyer commentary over here on this chapter actually explains it more. I will officially close after this. With what wonder his amanuensis must have looked up as the apostle broke into this exquisite sonnet of love. His radiant spirit had caught a glimpse of the living Savior. Jesus sits for his portrait in these glowing sentences, and of him every clause is true. Substitute his name for love throughout the chapter, and say whether it is not an exact likeness. With Paul, love stands for that strong, sustained, and holy subordination of self for others, which begins in will and act and is afterward suffused by emotion as a cloud lying in the pathway of the rising sun. But if you want the divine love, you must get it after the manner of the bay which opens its bosom to the incoming tide. That means you have to open up wide. Take all that you can get. God is love. And if you would love, and there's a verse that says that God is love, if you would love, you must abide in him and he in you. Love is better than miracles, gifts, or philanthropy. What is philanthropy? Money. 1 Corinthians 13, 1 through 3. Love is the parent of all that is most delightful in the moral sphere. 1 Corinthians 13, 4 through 7. Read that whole chapter. Love is the best of all because it is eternal. All else will perish. Our highest attainments will be as the babblings and playthings of childhood, but when we are in touch with the reality of things, love will be all in all. I'm reading directly from eSword. 1 Corinthians 13. Again, don't believe me. Go look for yourself. Ask of the Lord, and he'll reveal these things to you. Love is key. And when you look at that from a standpoint of whether love is present or not, you start to realize, you know what? I don't feel like I have love to do this. So I'm going to hold back and wait until it's right. Wait until I know it's right, that I'm doing this for the right reason. Then when you do it, there's real value there. And when love is present, the smallest of acts, the smallest of gestures become jewels and sapphires and rubies and emeralds. The highest of value. I love you all very much. I bless you all in Jesus' name. And I'll see you in the next video.